Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here this evening, and thank you all at home for watching this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Before we get started, as always, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. So would everybody please rise? And Councilwoman McDonough, would you lead us?
Yep. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember all of the men and women who are fighting for our freedom. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, once again, good evening, everyone. Today's date is Wednesday, June 16th, 2021, and tonight's meeting is a dual meeting. The first part of the meeting will be a town board voting meeting, and the second part is a work session, which we just have one item on the work session agenda for tonight. So we're going to go through the voting meeting agenda first, and then we'll close that meeting and then move on to the work session. So for the record, all town board members are present with us this evening, as is our town attorney, Greg Fulchetti, all the way down to my left, and our town clerk, Ann Spofford. And thanks for being here. So the resolutions that we're going to be voting on this evening are items that we discussed at last week's town board work session. So it's a work session meeting last week, and tonight we're acting on those items that we discussed in the work session. So we're formally voting on to adopt those, as we always do. So the first item on the agenda is to accept the town board minutes of May 19th, 2021. I need a motion to accept those.
So moved. Second.
So moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the second one is a resolution making a probationary appointment of a police officer for the Town of Carmel Police Department. And Councilman Shannon, would you read Resolution 1, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of the Town of Carmel Police Department, hereby appoints Michelle Yeager to the position of Police Officer in the Town of Carmel Police Department, effective June 23, 2021, on a probationary basis, at an annual salary of $63,838, subject to the provisions of civil service law and the civil service rules and regulations. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
It's seconded by Councilman Lombardi and Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Shannon?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. And I'd like to congratulate the newest female police officer for the Town of Carmel, Michelle Yeager. She would be here this evening. She had to give her 2 weeks' notice to the municipality that she's currently employed by, which is up in the town of New Paltz. So she's going to be starting here effective June 23rd, as the resolution has read, and she will be sworn in on June 23rd. Normally the officer would be here with their family and the chief, but she couldn't be here tonight. But she will be here on June 23rd when she officially begins her duties as a new Carmel police officer. I'd like to welcome her to the ranks of the Town of Carmel Police Department. I wish her all the best of luck and stay safe during your career, Officer Yeager. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 2, is a resolution approving an application for tuition reimbursement for the Carmel Police Department. This is for one of our officers. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 2?
Sure. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, in accordance with the terms of the current collective bargaining agreement with the Town of Carmel Police Benevolent Association, hereby pre-approves the application for tuition reimbursement of P.O. Sandy Greco for the spring 2021 academic term at SUNY Empire Online University and in connection with the Bachelor of Science curriculum. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Shannon?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 3, is a resolution scheduling a public hearing in regards to proposed local law amending Chapter 104 of the Town Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Noise. And Greg, we have it down for July 7th as the public hearings. Can we change that to the 14th?
Sure, just so it's offered, you can just change the date.
All right. All right, so Frank, when you read that, can you amend it to the 14th, please? Okay. Okay, Councilman Lombardi, would you read Resolution 3?
Sure. Resolved, the Town Board of Carmel hereby authorizes scheduling of a public hearing at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, on July 14th, amended from the July 7th, 2021 at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter that evening as possible on a proposed local law amending Chapter 104 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Noise, and be it further resolved, the town clerk Ann Spofford is hereby authorized and instructed to publish and post the necessary notices in the official newspapers of the town and on the town bulletin board regarding this public hearing. I offer the resolution as read.
Okay, offered by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 4, is a resolution declaring certain equipment obsolete and authorizing disposal of same. And Councilman Borelli, would you read that, please?
Resolved that upon the recommendation of Town of Carmel Director of Recreation and Parks, James R. Gilchrist, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby declares vehicle number 42, a 2010 Ford Crown Vic, VIN 2FABP 7B V1 AX 135521, to be obsolete and authorizes its disposal in accordance with town law including but not limited to Town Law 64 2-A. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Borelli, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried, thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 5, is a resolution accepting a proposal for fire/security alarm and surveillance systems at Airport Park. Councilman Shannon, would you read 5, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Director of Recreation and Parks, James R. Gilchrist, hereby authorizes acceptance of the proposal from Ace Security Systems Incorporated, Mahopac, New York, for the installation of fire and security alarm systems and surveillance systems at the Airport Park building facility at a total cost of $14,000, and in accordance with the proposal dated May 13, 2021. And be it further resolved that the amount of $480 per year for monitoring for security alarm and the amount of $680 per year for the fire alarm monitoring are authorized hereunder, and be it further resolved that upon presentation of insurance certificates in the form acceptable to Town Council, Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all necessary contract documentation to effect acceptance of this proposal upon the terms authorized herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Shannon, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 6, is a resolution accepting a proposal for engineering design services. This is for Carmel Sewer District Number 2 treatment plant. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 6?
Yep. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of Carmel Sewer District Number 2, and upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., hereby authorizes acceptance of proposal and entry into contract for design services from Hazen and Sawyer, White Plains, New York, for design services to be rendered in connection with the replacement of existing microfiltration membrane units at the Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant at a cost not to exceed $35,000 in accordance with the proposal received by the Town of Carmel on June 1st, 2021. And be further resolved that upon presentation of insurance certificates in form and acceptable to Town Council, Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all necessary contract documentation to effect the authorization upon the terms authorized herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilman Shannon. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shannon.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough. Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 7, is a resolution acknowledging performance of emergency repairs, Carmel Water and Sewer Districts. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 7?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of the various water and sewer districts of the Town of Carmel, hereby acknowledges the emergency performance of water and or sewer district collection system, distribution system, and treatment facility repairs, all as in detailed in the memoranda of Town Engineer Richard Franzetti, P.E., to the Town Board dated May 25, 2021, as attached hereto, and made part hereof. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Borelli and Councilman Channel. Roll call vote.
Councilman Channel?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough? Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 8, is a resolution authorizing advertising for bids for the purchase and installation of grit classifier, Carmel Sewer District 2 wastewater treatment plant, and bar screen mechanism, Carmel Sewer District Number 2. Councilman Borelli, would you read 8, please?
Resolved that pursuant to the request of the town engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., town clerk Ann Spofford, is hereby authorized to advertise for bids for the purchase and installation of a grit classifier for the Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant. And be it further resolved that pursuant to the request of the town engineer Richard J. Franzetti, the town clerk Ann Spofford is hereby authorized to advertise for bids for the purchase and installation of a bar screen mechanism for the Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant. And be it further resolved that the town engineer is to furnish detailed specifications for the above to the town clerk to be used in conjunction with the town's general bid conditions and specifications. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Borelli, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Channel?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough? Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 9, is a resolution advertised for bids for the repair and replacement of sidewalks in the hamlet of Carmel. Councilman Channel, would you read 9, please?
Resolved that pursuant to the request of the town engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., town clerk Ann Spofford, is hereby authorized to advertise for bids for the repair and replacement of sidewalks in the hamlet of Carmel, Glenina Avenue area. And be it further resolved that the town engineer is to furnish detailed specifications for the above to the town clerk to be used in conjunction with the town's general bid conditions and specifications. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Channel, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Channel?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough? Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 10, is a resolution authorizing the awarding of a bid for the Town Hall Facility Cleaning Services Contract, number C-274. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read number 10?
Sure. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel has previously authorized advertisement for the solicitation of bids for cleaning services for the Carmel Town Hall facility. And whereas such bids were received and opened on May 3rd, 2021, and a copy of the bid memorandum is on file with Ann Spofford, Town of Carmel Town Clerk. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby awards the bid for Town Hall Facility Cleaning Services to CTE Incorporated, DBA Reliable Cleaning Systems, Carly Place, New York, the lowest responsible bidder who met specifications at a contract price of $41,760 for 2022, $430 for 2023, $45,160 for 2024, and the two one-year contract extensions in favor of the Town of Carmel for years 2025 and 2026 at costs of $46,525 and $47,920. And be it further resolved that upon presentation of insurance certificates, bid bonds, and/or performance bonds in form acceptable to Town Council, Town of Carmel Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to sign any documentation necessary to effectuate this authorization on the terms set forth herein. And be further resolved that Town Comptroller Marianne Maxwell is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget revisions to effect the aforesaid purchase transactions authorized herein. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Channel?
Yes.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi?
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough? Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 11, is a resolution authorizing acceptance of a proposal for the purchase and installation of equipment for Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 11?
Whereas Infomark LLC, operator for Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant, and Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., have each advised the Town Board of the Town of Carmel that the fluctuation drive for the second stage clarifier, number 1, at Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant are in need of replacement. And whereas Infomark and the town engineer have each further advised the town board that the acquisition of the aforesaid fluctuation drive unit is exempt from New York General Municipal Law as a sole source exception. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of Carmel Sewer District Number 2, hereby accept and adopt the recommendation of Infomark LLC and the town engineer, and accordingly authorize the acquisition and installation to replace the fluctuation drive unit, Carmel Sewer District Number 2 wastewater treatment plant from GMH Associates of America, Inc., Trenton, New Jersey, at a cost not to exceed $12,960.74 in accordance with the proposal dated April 6, 2021. And be it further resolved, the Town Controller, Mary Ann Maxwell, is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget revisions to effect the aforesaid purchase transaction authorized herein. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 12, is a resolution awarding a contract for supply of chemicals for the wastewater and water treatment plants at Carmel Sewer Districts number 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Carmel Water Districts number 2, 3, 7, and 12. This is contract number 272. Councilman Borelli, would you read 12?
I have water districts 2, 3, 8, and 12.
2,
8
3,
and 12. I have that also.
I have 2, 3, 7.
I have 237.
Oh, I have both.
Within the
I'm
motion.
sorry.
This should be
Sewer
7.
districts 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and water districts.
It doesn't say.
On top.
Whereas the town board of the town of Carmel has previously authorized advertisement for the bids for purchase and supply of chemicals for the wastewater treatment plants servicing Carmel sewer districts 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and the water treatment facilities servicing Carmel water districts 2, 3, 7, and 12. And whereas such bids were received and opened on May 10th, 2021, and a copy of the bid memorandum is on file with Ann Spofford, Town of Carmel, Town Clerk. And whereas Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., has recommended the award of said bid as set forth hereunder. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of Carmel Sewer Districts 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Carmel Water Districts 2, 3, 7, and 12, hereby authorizes award of the reference bids to the lowest responsible bidders meeting specifications for a period of 1 year commencing July 7th, 2021, all as set forth on the schedule attached hereto and made a part hereof. Be it further resolved that Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all documentation necessary to effectuate the authorization granted herein. And be it further resolved that Town Controller Mary Ann Maxwell is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget modifications required in connection with this authorization. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Borelli, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 13, is a resolution authorizing additions and deletions to the active list of the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department. Councilman Shano, would you read 13?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the deletion of the following names to the active list of the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department: Richard Kurzel, Ryan Kick. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the modification of the status of the following individuals from active to exempt as members list of the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department: Nicholas Liberator, Jerry McGuigan, and James Hecker. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Shano.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. I'd like to thank the members of the Mahopac Fire Department who have resigned or left from the Mahopac Fire Department. I know sadly Richard Kurzel had passed away, and Ryan Kick was an active member. Thank him for his service. And the other members that are going inactive, thank you for your active service to the fire department. Okay, next resolution, number 14, is a resolution waiving waiving the notice requirement in Section 64 of the New York State ABC law with respect to a liquor license for RC Pizza Restaurant, LLC. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 14?
Whereas the representatives and/or proprietors of RC Pizza Restaurant LLC, DBA Europa Pizza, 178 Route 52, Carmel, have advised of the intention to apply for an on-premises liquor license for which 30 days advance notice of such application must be sent to the municipality. And whereas the notice required by Article 5 of the ABC law may be waived by the town board. And whereas the Town of Carmel Town Board does not intend to comment upon the application referred to herein. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby waives the 30-day notice requirement contained in Article 5 of the Alcoholic and Beverage Control Law and states that it does not intend to offer any comments regarding said application for a liquor license at the premises referred to herein. And be it further resolved, the Town Clerk, Ann Spofford, is hereby authorized to sign a waiver of said notice on behalf of the Town of Carmel. I offer this resolution as read.
I'll second.
Okay, it's seconded by Councilman Shannell and Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 15, is a resolution authorizing the adoption of the 2021 Putnam County, New York Hazard Mitigation Plan update. Councilman Lombardi, would you read 15?
Whereas all jurisdictions within Putnam County have exposure to national hazards that increase the risk to life, property, environment, and the county and local economy, and whereas proactive mitigation of known hazards before a disaster event can be reduced or eliminate long-term risk to life and property, and whereas the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, which is Public Law 106-390, established new requirements for the pre- and post-disaster hazard mitigation programs, and whereas a coalition of Putnam County municipalities with like planning objectives has been formed to pool resources and create consistent mitigation strategies within Putnam County, and whereas the coalition has completed a planning process that engages the public, assesses the risk of and vulnerabilities to the impact of natural hazards, developed a mitigation strategy consistent with a set of uniform goals and objectives, and creates a plan for implementing, evaluating, and revising this strategy. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town of Carmel hereby, number one, adopts in its entirety the 2021 Putnam County Hazard Mitigation Plan update as the jurisdiction's national hazard, not national, natural. I don't know why I keep saying that. All right, relax.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Mitigation plan and resolves to execute the actions identified in the plan that pertain to this jurisdiction. Number two, we'll use the adopted and approved portions of the plan to guide pre- and post-disaster mitigation of the hazards identified. Three, we'll coordinate the strategies identified in the plan with other planning programs and mechanisms under the jurisdiction authority. Four, we'll continue its support of the Mitigation Plan Committee as described within the plan. Five, will help promote and support the mitigation successes to all participants in this plan. Six, will incorporate mitigation planning as an integral component of government and partners' operations. And seven, will provide an update of the plan in conjunction with the county not less than every 5 years. I offer this confusing and lengthy resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough.
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. And Councilman Burley, would you read the 16th and final resolution? It's declaring certain IT equipment obsolete and authorizing disposal of same.
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel declares certain IT equipment on the list of items as attached hereto and made a part thereof to be obsolete and authorizes its disposal in accordance with town law, including but not limited to Town Law 64-2-A. We offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, offered by Councilman Burley, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call vote.
Councilman Shannell.
Yes.
Councilman Borelli.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Councilwoman McDonough. Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. So that completes the agenda items for tonight's Town Board voting meeting. Is there any members of the public who would like to come up and speak on the agenda items that we just covered this evening? Come on up at this time. Mr. Butler, how are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
John Butler, Hamlet of Carmel. So the item I'd like to refer to on the agenda is item number 6, accepting proposal for engineering design services. And I did read the scope of services, et cetera, on the, the presentation. The question I have actually reverts to a prior agreement to accept professional services in respect to the JRFA matter for the engineering services having to do with the wastewater treatment facility in Mayapack that's going to be acquired from the City of New York. I'd like to preface my comments by saying that the project is a good one. The objective is exactly what we want and what we need. But I have to get down to the details, and I had mentioned this in a prior meeting. Part of the agreement with JRFH is Section 3 indemnification. And what it basically says, not basically, I'm going to read it again quickly for the record. Town agrees to JRFA and hold JRFA harmless from any and all judgment, losses, costs, and expenses and the like, including attorney's fees incurred by reason of the action or omission of JRFA and its agents, servants, or employees in connection with JRFA's provision of services under this agreement, except for intentional negligence. Nonetheless, JRFA agrees to maintain professional malpractice insurance at all times during this agreement in a minimum amount of $2 million. So, the question I put to the board, given their acceptance of the contract for the engineering design services, I think it's Hazen, is this provision included in the Hazen contract? And if not, why not? And if it is not, why is it included in this other contract for professional services? And again, to summarize the position, as respects to the town, what we've done in the JFRA matter is, again, in my observation, accepted any and all liabilities that JFRA may incur, including to the City of New York, who's involved in the transaction. And again, I do not believe that the town's insurance would provide coverage for that exposure and liability due to the fact it's a contractual liability which is excluded. So my question is, again, to summarize, is that same provision included in the agreement with the contractors for resolution number 6?
Hazen and Sawyer. Hazen and Sawyer. Well,
Correct.
Thank you, John. That's a good question, and I'm going to defer to legal counsel on that because legal counsel was involved with the preparation of the resolution.
There's no agreement with Hazen as of yet. Right now, you've just accepted their proposal, and then they will have a proposed agreement for the services.
Good. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm not.
There's no agreement with Hazen right now. You've only accepted the services on the cost basis that they have provided to you at $35,000. So they'll submit the paperwork that they want signed with the agreement, and they'll provide malpractice insurance, and the indemnification usually in that circumstance is if there's a third-party action where the town is sued by a vendor and they indemnify the design professional. And if the design professional commits malpractice, the town has rights against them. Okay.
I'm not sure, so, sorry, not the sharpest knife in the drawer here. So my question is the indemnification, I believe indemnification, the whole harmless, that's being provided to JFRA in the matter of the Mayapack waste treatment facility, the same that's being provided to Hazen in this matter?
Again, we don't have the Hazen contract to sign. I will say that although I was not involved in the contract with JRFA in the town, that's a different scope of services. They're actually negotiating a contract for the town. So if there was an issue between the city and the town, that they would be indemnified. That would not be uncommon. With respect to any design component of that job that comes forward thereafter, if it moves in the direction where the town actually takes over the plant, I would think the indemnification would be different. But that, you're not there yet because you haven't been presented with a proposal, you haven't accepted the proposal, and you haven't gone into contract with either the city or the design engineer. But I don't have Hazen's proposal other than the numbers right now.
Understood. So the matter is for future consideration. Put it that way?
I would say that's accurate.
We haven't crossed that road yet.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Is there anyone else here for any of the agenda items 1 through 16 that we covered during the voting meeting? Come on up. Okay, there being none, I need a motion to close the voting meeting.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And good night, Ann. I need a motion to open the work session.
I'm so moved.
So moved by Councilman Shannell. That's at the end, John. We just have one work session on, then we'll go to, okay. So seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. All those in favor to open the work session?
So moved.
So, aye.
Aye.
Okay. Work session is now open. As I said, we have one item, I'm sorry, there's two. There's actually review of town board minutes of June 2nd, 2021. Does any board members have any comments on the minutes of June 2nd, 2021? If not, we'll move on to number 1. Okay. Town board work session, item number 1, Rich Franzetti, PE, town engineer. Consider request to award bid Woodland Road water line replacement. This is in the Carmel Water District number 8 area. Rich?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Bids were received and opened by the town clerk for the reference project on June 6th at 11 a.m. The bid open results are attached to the memo. Scope of work involves a water line replacement to replace a 2-inch galvanized service line with 2 1-inch copper lines. It's in response to complaints about discolored water at the 2 homes that are serviced by the 2-inch line. It was determined that the single 2-inch service line for these residences was the original galvanized pipe, which should have been replaced during the Carmel Water District 8 system upgrade. MTS Infrastructure LLC is the low bidder at $28,816.70. We interviewed references provided, including consulting engineer for the village of Mount Kisco and Tarrytown, and the superintendent of public works for the village of Tarrytown. Based on our reviews, we're satisfied that MTS Infrastructure is qualified for the project. There are sufficient funds for this work as provided by the comptroller, and we recommend that the project be awarded to MTS Infrastructure LLC for the amount already stated, $28,816.70.
Rich, just one question. I mean, obviously, I'm not objecting to the fact that they are the lowest bidder, and, you know, that's fine, and I know you vetted them. But, and I'm not going to go through the other numbers, but the highest bid on this is in excess of $100,000 more.
Right.
Which just doesn't, like, and again, it's not on you, or it's not on, it just, I'm not, was it that some people didn't understand what the project was? Does this contractor understand what the project, I mean, somewhere it's like, you know, I know you bid stuff that, you know, you really don't want to do, but if you're going to pay me to do it, I'll do it. I get it, so let's knock a couple of them out, but I'm just, and no disparity upon MTS at all. I just don't understand, like, the numbers were just kind of wild.
And you're correct, and we asked the same question. Ravera and I went through this. There's a $50,000 difference between this number and the next highest number. We did speak to the contractor to make sure that their number was good. They are okay with that number, and they said they could do the work for that number, and they would do the work for that number. So, I don't know why the numbers are like that. I thought the second highest and the next highest were a little more in line with what we expected. However, as you said, we'll take the number as is.
No, listen, I mean, if you vetted them and they're, you know, professional to other towns that have done the work, you know, that's great. I just was a little, concerned.
You, and I'm sure every board member, as was the engineering department, so was Greg, when we spoke about it, we all looked at it. So, but we're good, you know, we vetted them and we went through the process, so.
Tell them to bid some more things for the town.
Well, I think what they kind of indicated is that they
What
want to
they're
get their
looking to
foot in the door in Putnam County, so this is a way to do
They are
it.
White Plains.
Yeah, so,
Can I ask one question?
sure.
When was the original upgrade done? That they forgot to do this, or they,
Yeah, no, was it 13, 14?
13.
13? 2013.
and they forgot to put these in?
I wasn't here, so my understanding is that the lines, they weren't known to be galvanized going from the main to those homes, though it was assumed that they were copper. I guess, I'm assuming, I don't know that answer. But no, they were not picked up as galvanized pipe when the upgrades came through.
And how many feet approximately is it?
300, give or take. It's a straight run. Fortunately, there used to be a whole bunch of shrubs in that area. They're all gone. The new homeowner, or the homeowner there has cut all the shrubs, so it's really a straight run.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Any other questions, comments,
Just-
Rich?
Rich, is copper, can you, like, recycle that or get money for it?
No, we're putting copper
Copper's
in.
going in.
We're getting rid of
Copper's going in.
galvanized. Galvanized is our grief
Oh,
there.
I say with 1-inch copper.
Yeah, galvanized.
Galvanized is in there now?
Galvanized is out.
Got it.
Any other questions for the engineer? No. Okay, there being none, thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Rich.
Okay, so that concludes the one agenda item for tonight's work session. Is there anyone here that would like to come up regarding the one work session item we just covered? Come on up at this time. 1 second, John, we'll get to you. Okay, there being none, okay, I'm going to open up the floor to open forum, new business, part of the meeting. Welcome again, John.
It's me again, Hamlet of Carmel, John Butler. First thing I'd just like to say, not bad news, great news, actually. I was just reading on the internet the other day that the town of Carmel is considered the 14th safest town in the United States of America.
Yeah.
That's a pretty amazing thing. Not
think
New
it
York,
is.
not here.
I think, John, not to interrupt you, but I think the 13 towns ahead of it, the majority of the population are cows and horses.
Oh, what?
Are cows and horses.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
They're not going to like
No,
the
but
other towns.
that's an amazing thing.
It is.
It really is.
That's a testament to the law enforcement agencies,
Local,
all
state,
county. Right.
it's fantastic.
Yes, they do an excellent job.
Right.
They do. Keep it
So
us-
now going downer, we're also like the number 12 highest tax county in the United States of America, but it's okay. Health and safety, number one, and we're right there, and I think that's fantastic. And I think our local Carmel cops are great. They're fantastic. Thankfully, I've had very few interactions with them, but when we have, they've been responsive and they've been tremendous. The other part, the other thing I wanted to say is, again, it's a communication thing. So, up in Kelly Ridge, we've had the main lines, the cleaning process, and so on and so forth. It's sort of like good news, bad news again. The guys who are on the ground, who are working there, doing the work, et cetera, myself, my neighbors, the neighborhood, we're talking to them, we're getting information from these guys, and they're great. And they're telling us what's going on and what to expect and so on and so forth. And, I give them a lot of credit, and I'm very thankful that they're there. Just a little bit of story, and it's almost like it almost had to happen this way. I had asked the questions when the project first started, hey, we have questions. We don't know, we need information. I've got a water pressure booster in my house. How does this affect, the hookup from the temporary water supply, et cetera? And, the answer is consult your plumber. I'm like, what? When I call the guy who comes to my house for plumbing, he pick up the phone, it costs $250. But anyway, so it just had to happen this way. My wife and I go away for a few days. We come back to our house from the airport. We drive in the driveway, and there's 5 guys with a bucket and a truck digging up effectively, a hole in our front yard. And I just kind of walk up next to them and say, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And it turns out they had to do that because they had to hook it up and so on and so forth. And you know what? I'm okay with that. It's fine. I get it. Technically speaking, they did what they had to do. All I'm saying is communicate. Communicate. Give the residents some idea as to what is going to happen. And honestly, the contractors and the consultant, they're doing their job as best they can, but they're standing on the ground. They're literally there on the street and digging the holes and giving us information. That's not the way it's supposed to be. The town is supposed to be providing to us, the residents, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is what you should expect. This is what you anticipate. And again, if you have any questions, call this number and you will get an answer immediately. So again, I'm cool. We're getting our mains cleaned out. We're going to get pressure. We're going to actually get water, I think. And the other part about this, and again, very specific to the Kelly Ridge neighborhood, is amazingly enough, we're going to have a storage tank, 55,000, 100,000 gallons replaced with a new tank. And I'm looking up there. I look there every day and go, when, where, and how is this going to happen? And so I just want to be a little bit proactive and to advise that community, which is about 150 homes, hey guys, we're going to replace your water storage tank up there, and this is when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, where it's going to happen, and anything you need to know that's going to impact your home associated with that. And that is all I have to say for tonight. Thank you,
John.
I appreciate it.
John, I just want to confirm with the engineer, when is the bid opening for the water storage tanks? If you could just comment on that, John, because that'll be...
I thought he left.
No, that'll be helpful.
If I was him, I would have left.
That'll be helpful for your question about the storage.
Yes, thank you.
June 30th is when the bid is open for the tanks. Our goal is to have it to the board in the middle of July, probably start the work in the fall. We've already, there are supply chain issues, so the intention is to do something, but with supply issues, with metal, with steel, with everything else that's associated with it. There's no promise. The idea is to get it done this year. Everyone will be kept appraised of that as it goes forward. As for the how, whys, when, and ifs, the installation of this tank will have no impact on the residents immediately because the original tank is staying in service.
Yes.
We're putting in this tank directly next to it.
Yes.
So that tank will be in service. The existing tank will be in service the entire time until the next one is commissioned. So theoretically, you should not have any impacts. You'll have you'll have sound, right? Because there'll be construction. You'll have work being done up there. Yes, that'll be done. When those schedules come through, they'll be provided to the board and to the residents in Carmel Water District 2. But you will allegedly not have disruption of water when that tank is there. Now, the other piece of the puzzle is we'll be rehabbing the next phase of the project, because this is phase 1 where we're installing a new tank. When we rehab Lindy and ShopRite, we're going to put temporary boosters in there. That's not happening this year. That's going to happen next year. There'll be temporary water supplies in there. We're doing a water model study. That's going to be happening early next week. There's going to be some hydrant testing being done on Monday only, and that will help us with the model to understand what the booster tank we have to have placed for ShopRite when we take ShopRite offline, and then when we take Lindy offline. We're not going to take them offline at the same time. They'll be taken off one at a time. It would be going in, but that other tank, Everett, would be in service by that time. So you all know now what I know.
Okay. Well, gotcha, and I appreciate that.
Now
All
can I go home?
anyone really cares about in their house, as they're taking a shower and turning the faucet on, is that they're going to have water. So I think, unless I'm getting this wrong, the answer to that question, is there ever going to be interruption in the provision of water to our homes? The answer is no.
Right. Obviously, unless there's some catastrophic failure,
Well-
the answer is no. The intention is to keep the existing tank in service, put the new one in.
Gotcha. Okay.
Get it going, then turn it on, turn the old one off.
That's great.
Just demolish the old one, because that's going to be taken out of there.
That's great.
And then you'll have a
I
brand-new
want that
tank servicing.
made a pool in my backyard. But when you use the words allegedly and theoretically, it makes me a little squeamy, but I get it.
Because
totally with
I
you.
can't, if
I
I
got
gave
you.
you a guarantee now, somebody will hold it up in my
No,
face
no, no.
6 months from now, 8 months
Allegedly
from
and
now.
theoretically,
I am
as
not going to give
respects
you a
of-
guarantee. I will tell you those
Allegedly and
words.
theoretically, as respects a timeline, I totally get. Allegedly and theoretically is there's not going to be an interruption in water service. That's the important part, i.e., that's not going to happen.
Hey, John,
Yes,
in my profession, I use those words 10 times a day,
I know. I'm dealing with you guys all the time.
at least.
It's what gives me agita and probably will lead to an early death, but it's okay.
It's
Thank
not
you very much.
intentional on anybody's part.
Rich, I appreciate it. I know you got a really tough job, and it's a big project, and thank you all very much.
You're welcome,
Rich,
John.
one
Thank you.
quick question. How long does it take to build that tank?
Oh.
Month?
I don't have that scheduled yet. I can't give that answer until the bids come in and we
90
know what the
At
schedule
least 90
is.
days,
90
right?
days.
Just a ballpark.
I think I
figure.
read somewhere 90 days, Rich.
Again, we don't have the bid specs in and
Yeah.
when it's going to happen with that, so I don't have that answer. I'm not going
Okay,
to
we'll
tell
expect
you
it.
a number
It's a
now.
larger tank. It's a 500,000
And
gallon tank.
again, 90 days,
It is tall.
Good. For more pressure.
90 days, again, supply chain issues might cause us grief.
Right.
So,
Usually speaking.
right. Well, I mean, but, if they can't get steel from somewhere, they're not going to get steel from somewhere. It doesn't come out of thin
Steel's
air.
going up, too.
Kenny,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. All right. Rich, thank you. Thanks, Rich. All right, have a good night. All right, so that concludes the town board.
Rich is taking his microphone with him and he's not, he's leaving.
She's giving it to John.
Oh, okay. Don't do that, don't do that.
No. That concludes the town board work session for this evening. And I just want to give congratulations and kudos to the Mahopac High School girls varsity softball team for winning the first Section 1 trophy in school history after Saturday's 1-0 Section 1 Class AA title win over North Rockland. So congratulations to the Mahopac High School girls varsity team for winning that trophy and that title over North Rockland. The score was 1-0. So it was a great game, and they have some terrific athletes on that girls softball team. And I wish them all the best of luck, especially the seniors that are moving on to their collegiate careers. Good night, John. Oh,
I just want to add that, let's give some congratulations to the Carmel High School baseball team for winning their section championship for the first time in 20.
well, I think Councilman Shannon was going to
I'm
mention
sorry,
that.
I stole the thunder.
Congratulations.
I'm leaving.
Good job.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Good night, John. Thank you.
Good night.
Okay. Congrats, girls. Bob, the boys
Congratulations,
varsity.
boys varsity baseball team. Thank you. Good job.
Good job. Okay. All right. So next, June 30th. June 30th at 7 p.m. right here in the meeting room. We're going to be hosting a workshop, a public workshop for the downtown Mahopac projects, which include Swan Cove, the municipal parking lot in downtown Mahopac, sidewalk lighting projects. I encourage the public, and I would urge the public to come out on June 30th at 7 p.m. right here to meet with the town board and the consultants, Insight Engineering, to discuss the downtown projects. This is your time, ladies and gentlemen, where you can give us input and feedback on what your thoughts are for those downtown projects. We want to hear from you. It's your projects, your property, you're the taxpayers. Tell us what you want in Swan Cove, recreation facility, the parking lot, Chamber Park, and downtown Mahopac. So please try to attend that meeting. It's an important one. Again, Wednesday, June 30th, 7 p.m., right here in the meeting room. Does anybody else have anything they want to announce? Mike? Mike, Frank?
No.
Bob?
Show up. This is a chance.
This is their chance, yeah. This is your opportunity. Please show up and help us out. Tell us what you want. All right. So the meeting for July 7th, we're not meeting next week on the 23rd. The planning board would be using this room for a planning board meeting, but they're not meeting either next week. They don't have enough agenda items to meet. So the meeting to vote on this one workshop item for tonight would be July 7th, Wednesday, July 7th. But because it's only the one item that we'd be acting on that night, voting on, I spoke to the town board earlier when we were coming out here. So we've decided not to meet on July 7th for one voting meeting item, agenda item, and that agenda item is going to be voted on July 14th. So we're not meeting the 23rd. We're meeting here on the 30th to discuss the projects, but we're not meeting on July 7th for a voting meeting because we just have one agenda item. So we'll be back here on July 14th for a town board work session and voting meeting. Anybody else have anything? Okay, with that, I need a motion to close. So moved by
Second.
Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Shannon. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good
Be
night.
well. We'll see you on the 30th.